Donald Trump is losing it as former President Barack Obama is ready to end Donald Trump's term. He's ready to help Democrats get enough seats in the House of Representatives to impeach Donald Trump. And this is haunting and taunting Donald Trump and making Trump absolutely terrified. You see, today's a big day across the country, especially in Virginia, where the Vote Yes campaign to temporarily change the Virginia congressional maps to give Democrats that 10-1 advantage. That vote is today, folks. The constitutional amendment, which would immediately change the congressional map in Virginia to give Democrats a 10-1 advantage over the MAGA Republicans. It's currently an 11-seat congressional district, 6 Democrats and 5 Republicans. And so Donald Trump is terrified because former President Obama has been leading the Vote Yes campaign in order to do the temporary redistricting in Virginia in response to Trump gerrymandering these MAGA Republican states across the country. So Donald Trump calls into this right-wing radio show, the John Frederick Show, and Donald Trump's like, they're going to impeach me. If the yes vote wins in Virginia, I'm going to get impeached. Obama's going to want to impeach me. This is what, it's terrible. It's terrible. Can you believe it? Listen to how terrified Donald Trump is right now as former President Obama is one of the leaders of the Vote Yes campaign, which is today. The vote's today, Virginia. Here, play this clip of Trump calling in the John Fredericks radio show. Play this clip.
I'll tell you, we have Mike Johnson's done a great job. But we're always fighting against the one thing the Democrats do, they stick together, even on really horrible policy. I always say they have horrible policy, but they stick together. They impeached me, and they had no right to impeach me.
Right.
And they did it like nobody even knew it was going to happen.
And then moreover here, Donald Trump calling in John Fredericks, and Trump's like, can you believe it? They're actually trying to do redistricting in Virginia. It's so unfair. This is so unfair. I mean, it's so unfair. You started this in Texas. This was your idea. Democrats are just finally striking back after Governor Newsom in California was able to do the redistricting in California. Listen to what Trump says. Play this clip.
Well, it's terrible. It is true, John. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's so unfair. They even say it's unfair. They say, oh, they'll do it once and maybe they'll go back to what it was. The whole thing is ridiculous. And she's been a horrible governor. Look at all the problems that we've got with her. The whole country is talking about it, actually. And I guess she goes down as the worst governor for the first short period of time ever. But she's totally different. She said she was going to be a moderate. She wasn't going to raise taxes. And literally in her first day, she wiped out all of the good that was done by your excellent governor. Glenn did a great job. He was a great governor. And she just wiped it out. And not only wiped it out, she put taxes on every single item. You cut your lawn, you wash your laundry. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. She went absolutely bonkers. And you just can't have this. And this is what they're going to be doing with this referendum. If the Democrats, look, if they get additional House seats, at some point, if they get these additional seats, they're going to be making changes at the federal level. So I cut taxes more than anybody's ever cut them. They will change that. So they wanted to raise taxes. They wanted to raise regulations. They want to have men and women sports. They want to have a transgender mutilization of your children for everybody. It's a mutilization of your children. They want to have every single thing that you don't want.
And then he continues to, again, cry and complain about how terrified he is of a redistricting referendum passing in Virginia to change the Constitution. Play this clip.
What's going to happen if we lose these elections, the House, and in this case, the House, and it's going to be a disaster. If they do this, they're guaranteed to pick up a lot of seats. And everybody knows it's unjust, including.
So then you have former President Obama cutting ads. And this is former President Obama's push. He says, Virginia, if you haven't done it already, make a plan to vote yes on the redistricting referendum. You can vote early by April 18th, and then Election Day is April 21st, today. Find your polling place at iwillvote.com/Virginia. Here, play this clip.
Hey, Virginia. Early voting is underway, and Virginians are turning out in record numbers to vote yes. By voting yes, you have a chance to do something important, not just for the Commonwealth, but for our entire country. By voting yes, you can push back against the Republicans trying to give themselves an unfair advantage in the midterms. By voting yes, you can take a temporary step to level the playing field. And we're counting on you. Early voting is happening right now. Election Day is on April 21st. So go to iwillvote.com/VA to find your closest polling location. Make a plan, show up, and vote yes.
And by the way, leading to today's vote, Obama was with Mayor Mamdani in New York, and he was just hanging out with kids, just demonstrating again what leadership looks like. I'll show you a clip that I didn't show over this past weekend. Here, play this clip.
Hi, guys. How's it going, everybody? Good. Is it going good?
Yeah.
My name's Barack.
Hi, Barack.
How you doing? And what's your names, guys?
My name is
Sasha. I have a Sasha.
Let me interrupt for a minute to bring you this important news story. So we're seeing a major warning sign right now across the United States, and it's one that can impact everything from wildfire season to your grocery bill. New data shows that more than 61% of the lower 48 states is now in moderate to exceptional drought, and that includes a staggering 97% of the Southeast and about 2/3 of the West. And here's the key point. This is the worst drought level for this time of year since tracking began in the year 2000. It gets even more alarming. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says that March was one of the driest months ever recorded, ranking behind only the Dust Bowl era of 1934. Out west, record heat and low snowpack mean less stored water heading into summer, fueling wildfire risk and worsening water shortages. Meanwhile, a separate weather pattern tied to the jet stream is keeping storms away from the south, deepening drought conditions from Texas all the way to the East Coast. And the numbers are staggering. Some areas would need over a foot of rain in a single month just to catch up. Eastern Texas, nearly 19 inches. This is what climate instability looks like in real time, and yet we continue to see political leaders, especially Donald Trump and his administration, reject climate science and ignore the consequences that are already here. Thanks for watching. Now we need you to speak out. What are your thoughts on climate issues, on Trump's rejection of climate science, on our climate segments here at MeidasTouch? I want to hear from you. I'll be reading your comments. Okay, Ben, back to you.
Donald Trump's not taking it well. So Donald Trump was making social media post after social media post attacking Obama yesterday, because for Trump, it's like, Obama's trying to get me impeached. Obama's ending my term. So Donald Trump posted, the deal that we are making with Iran will be far better than the JCPOA, commonly referred to as the Iran nuclear deal, penned by Barack Hussein Obama and Sleepy Joe Biden, one of the worst deals ever made having to do with the security of our country. They gave $1.7 billion in green cash loading into Boeing 757s. I mean, that's not true, number one. But number two, Obama actually did a deal that had multilateral buy-in where there were mechanisms to enforce it. And you are not even able to really negotiate extensions of ceasefires with Iran. Also, Donald Trump posted the following about Obama. Oh my God, emoji, open mouth face emoji. This is a Trump post. I'm still trying to process what happened. The highest ranking U.S. intelligence official just released smoking gun docs proving that Obama and his underlings committed treason and sedition, meaning Trump was right about everything. The news is fake and the deep state is real. Can you believe this is what the guy's posting? And meanwhile, former President Obama just nails it. So while Donald Trump is doing that, Obama keeps cutting ads. And he's like, Virginia, free and fair elections are under threat from the GOP. Vote yes. Here's the ad that Obama cut. Here, play this clip.
Free and fair elections are the cornerstone of our democracy, but right now they are under threat. Over the past year, several Republican-controlled states have taken the unprecedented step of redrawing their congressional maps in the middle of the decade. And they've done it for a simple reason, to give themselves an unfair advantage in the midterms this fall. In April, Virginians can respond by making sure your voting power is not diminished by what Republicans are doing in other states. This amendment gives you the power to level the playing field in the midterms this fall, and voters will have the final say over what the maps look like. This is the responsible thing to do. It's also a temporary measure. After the 2030 census, Virginia will go back to a system that lets a bipartisan redistricting commission redraw the maps. We can't afford 2 more years of unchecked power and zero accountability in Washington. Help us chart a better path forward, Virginia. Early voting begins on March 6th. Election day is April 21st. Vote yes, Virginia. To get involved, go to virginiansforfairelections.com.
And then you had people like Khanna going right on Donald Trump's home turf, state regime media, which calls itself Fox, and on home turf within home turf, which is Maria Bartiromo, who's basically the biggest Donald Trump bootlicker out there, or one of them. And watch as Khanna, Democratic Congress member, schools Maria Bartiromo while Donald Trump is being haunted by Obama, and she tries to go and attack Obama. Watch what Khanna does. This was great. Here, play this clip.
Barack Obama was a great statesman who left America much safer. I wouldn't put Donald Trump in the same paragraph. The reality is when President Obama left, because of the great efforts of people like Valerie Jarrett, we had 97% of the enriched uranium out. The reality is we didn't have 13 American service members dead. The reality is we never had gas go up from $2.30 to $4. The reality is we did not give China more role in the region. Let me finish, Maria. I'll let you finish.
Okay,
we didn't give China more role in the region. We did not give the IRGC a more hardline regime in there. You know why? Because Obama actually did his homework. He actually tried to engage in statesmanship. He got China, Russia, the entire European allies on board with getting Iran on a path to not having a nuclear weapon. All Trump did is listen to Netanyahu. That's his entire foreign policy. And you know what? I resent the fact that Israel is going to tell the United States what to do. The American president should call the shots in this country.
Well, the American president should call the shots in this country, but you and your colleagues are trying to clip his wings right now with this war powers vote. I agree. The president is in charge. But look, a lot of the things that you just said are just not true, Congressman. I mean, look, we have to look at this realistically. And President Obama sent money to the Iranians. And what did they do? They resumed their buildup of enrichment.
That's not true.
Yeah,
Not true.
What's not true? What's not true? What specifically about that sentence is not true?
There was a deal that we reached to get 97% of the enriched uranium out. In the process of that, Iran had certain assets that were Iranian assets, wasn't our money, that was unfrozen. And that was a deal that China, Russia, France, UK, Canada, the United States all agreed to. And then you had Netanyahu come in and try to torpedo it, and AIPAC tried to torpedo that deal. We were on a path to having a denuclear Iran, but what happened is it wasn't in Netanyahu's interest and AIPAC's interest, and they've dragged us into another war in the Middle East. They've hurt American people, and the American people are tired of it. They want people who are going to be Team America. They want people who are going to bring gas prices down here and care about our nation and get us out of these wars, and that's why Obama won. He was against the Iraq war. That's why he was on a path to normalization in terms of getting Iran to be denuclear, and had the whole world on our side. And AIPAC, Netanyahu tore that up.
Relax. Congressman.
Now, going back to Donald Trump's interview with John Fredericks, then Donald Trump just started whining about Iran. Play this clip.
Because other things, I've already fixed inflation largely. I mean, as soon as we get them to no nuclear weapons in Iran, which is going to happen, I think, very quickly, actually. We've just decimated them. But as soon as we get that, you're going to see prices drop. You're going to see energy come down like you've never seen it before. All these things are going to happen. But I got rid of, you go right before, and even now, you go right before the fact that I had to make that little journey. After having the best economy in history, I said, well, we're going to have to take a little journey down to Iran. I know you're in favor of what we're doing. I think, frankly, everyone is. They don't talk about it. But you can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. You want to see a stock market get hit. You cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon, and they'll use it here. They'll take out the Middle East. They'll knock out Israel in the Middle East, and they'll come to Europe and they'll come here because they are, let's say, ill, if very ill, and we can't let that happen. So we're doing great. And I think we've already won militarily. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no leaders. They have no anti-aircraft mechanisms and machinery. It's all gone. It's all gone. But they have no leaders, and you see what's going on. So we now are controlling the strait. We're not letting them to get any. They're losing $500 million a day by us blocking the blockade, blocking the strait, the Hormuz Strait, and a lot of good things are happening. But so we cut taxes more than anybody in history, and they want to raise them. The economy hit an all-time high, the Dow, and frankly, it's very close to it right now. With all of this, it's actually very close to it right now. But it hit the all-time highest ever. S&P is 7,000, and think of that. They thought you couldn't do that in 4 years, and the Dow is over 50,000. They said it can't be done over 4 years. It'll never be done. All of that's going to be destroyed. Your 401ks are going to go down. All of that, the great things that we did now on a national basis, it's going to be destroyed. And Virginia is going to be one of the biggest losers. We brought in tremendous business and jobs for Virginia, and now she got lucky, frankly, and she takes advantage of that. But Glenn and myself, we brought all those jobs into Virginia. And now they're going to, frankly, there are companies now are trying to get out of their deal because they don't want to move to Virginia because of her. So when you see it all happening like this, you just have to vote no. It has to vote no. You can't let this happen in the ballot referendum.
Mr. President, if we can get your base out tomorrow, this is now a base election. We're going to turn the corner and win this by people voting no, and it's going to get defeated, which is going to change the entire narrative for the midterm.
And more of Donald Trump whining about Iran. Play this clip.
So we're going to bring it back just to what we want, and our country is going to be greater than ever before. And basically, it's MAGA, MAGA. And we're going to make sure that Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, by the way. That's very close to being over. And we're going to make sure, and I did in 3 months and 2 months, actually, 2 months, think of it, in 2 months, what they couldn't do in 12 years, 13 years, 15 years between Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq. And we've done some job. We wiped out their whole military apparatus. So now we have to get it done, and we will get it done because I always get things done.
And let me just share with you some of these, this message that has Donald Trump panicking all last night and into the morning. Just take a look at this new ad right here that was cut about the yes vote. Play this clip.
Trump and his MAGA allies have shut down the government, shut down abortion clinics, shut down healthcare for millions. Now they're redrawing congressional maps across the country to rig elections, steal more power, and shut us out. Virginia, we have a choice. We can sit down, shut up, and let them get away with it. Or we can stand up and fight back by voting yes in the special election. Yes levels the playing field and stops the Trump power grab. Vote yes.
And here, Governor Spanberger, Virginia's great governor right now, here she talks about Virginia's redistricting referendum gives voters the power to respond to a president who says he's entitled to more GOP seats in Congress before Americans vote in the midterms, to efforts in other states to give those seats to him. Join me in voting yes on April 21st. Here's what she says. Play this clip.
I'm Governor Abigail Spanberger, and I'm voting yes on Virginia's redistricting amendment. It's directly in response to what other states decide to do, and a president who says that he's, quote, entitled to more Republican seats before this year's midterms. Our approach is different. It's temporary. It preserves Virginia's fair redistricting process into the future. At this extraordinary moment, I urge all Virginians to join me in voting yes by April 21st.
And finally, here were the lawmakers behind the vote yes. Here's the message that they sent. Let's play this clip.
Hello, Virginia. I'm Louise Lucas, and I'm here for the Yes campaign. I'm sitting here with my two favorite elected officials, Speaker of the House and Congressman Scott.
I'm Speaker Don Scott. Go out and vote yes. Don't guess. Vote yes.
We need to level the playing field. That's why we're voting yes. Don't guess. Vote yes.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.